What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for Micro Mini Lightning Newscasts, of which we took a break last week because we wanted to do a long-form one. We wanted to talk a little longer and just about some random stuff, so that's what you got to hear last week. But this week we're back with the news you can use and laying it at your feet. And as always, I'm joined by my friend and fellow newscaster.
This is Eric.
And Eric, today we got some big news, but before we begin, we've got to put 10 minutes on the guest star Death Star because that's how long we have to bring him the news. In 3, 2, 1. Eric, there is some big things going on in the world of entertainment. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Disney and Comcast are fighting, are kind of in a bidding war for the rights to Fox Entertainment.
I'll be honest with you, I was not really following this very much until recently, and that's mainly because I didn't think the FTC would allow the merger, and I didn't want to waste my time following something that was going to get squashed by the government. But what have you come to find out, Nick?
Well, I've come to find out that, well, one, let me just bring you up to speed here. Disney put out an offer of about $50 billion.
Ooh.
You know, small chump change.
I mean, I made that last night.
Right.
On the poll.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I was pole racing.
Yeah, well.
I was racing.
Oh, pole racing.
Pole racing.
Gotcha. I can only assume you're talking about the old 1980s video game Pole Position.
Yeah.
Us
pole racers call it the pole.
Right.
I mean,
okay. I was a little worried there for a second.
I understand.
I knew times were hard. I just didn't know it'd gotten that hard. But they offered about $50 billion for this, a little bit more than that. But then Comcast comes back with a bid of $65 billion, and now, as of today, Wednesday, June 20th, when we are recording this, Disney has come back with a $71.3 billion bid for Fox and its assets. But not only that, according to Walt Disney co-chief executive Bob Iger, they've been making a lot of progress in getting the rights through the FTC, but also in other countries where they would have to get the rights to be able to acquire the Fox things in these other countries. So apparently they've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to get this all rolling and moving and moving in a direction where this might actually become a reality.
This is interesting. Yeah. What I find pretty interesting is it looks like Fox's 30% stake in Hulu, that's a part of the sale, that's to me, that's a very big piece of the sale. I mean, online streaming is huge, and I don't see it going away. I see it only getting bigger. People cutting the cable. That's a big.
Well, Disney's on top of that. Disney has wanted to do their own streaming service, kind of like DC is doing with like Young Justice and things like that. Disney has talked about doing their own streaming service.
Oh, I didn't know DC was doing a streaming service.
Yes.
Just tell me a little bit about that. What do you know? They're streaming Young Justice?
Well, yeah, Young Justice Season 3 is actually being made, and it's going to be streamed on their own service.
Just through their website? Or
it's that all the details haven't been.
I'm interested. That's an interesting thing. I did not know about DC's streaming service. Makes sense. I don't think it will succeed. Now, Disney at one point did have a streaming service. It failed, if I remember right. I have to look it up to verify. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, Comcast, I guess they're not getting it, but Comcast already has a 30% stake in Hulu. And
well, Disney has a 30% stake in Hulu. The interesting thing about this is that if whoever gets whoever gets Fox will get the majority stake
of Hulu. That's a big deal. I mean, such a juggernaut in the streaming service. Now it's interesting. So the Fox sale wouldn't include their Fox News Channel, Fox Business Network, and Fox Broadcasting Company. So those are going to be spun off. I was wondering about that, how their channels like that would do their very right-leaning channels, how they
very, very right-leaning channels.
how they would be packaged if they were under Disney. But after reading that makes way more sense. But 21st Century Fox, they're so Comcast or Disney would acquire 20th Century Fox after the spinoff because I guess that's the movie asset.
Right.
And of course that makes sense for Disney for sure, and Comcast also, I mean.
Well, and that would add, but the other thing with Disney wanting to do their own streaming service is that would add to their movie packages. Because you get all the Fox movies in there too. Not only that, on top of that, you get those added characters that Fox owns, like the Fantastic Four. You get the X-Men back, all being able to be brought back into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All being able to bring that in there too, which in a way extends the life of the superhero connected universe in a way.
That's true.
Watching the same ones people would eventually get stale with that, but add in new characters and
the breadth of characters really opens up there. I mean, it becomes
possibilities. Yes.
Yeah, kind of more like they do in the comic books,
right?
Where you got
it breathes new life into something.
Definitely.
That I mean, really, with something like Thanos, the big bad in the Marvel Universe, coming into this movie, a lot of people have been asking, like, where do you go after this? Like, where do you go after the next Avengers movie? Because you're talking Thanos. That's the end of the Thanos story.
Well, what would also be pretty interesting with a Disney streaming service is they own Star Wars.
Right.
And they could actually create some custom Star Wars shows, just like Netflix does, since they own all the rights and assets to them. And they could create some pretty interesting, if done well, additional content to the Star Wars universe. That would be canon.
They already do that. They already do that with the Rebels show.
Yeah.
And now there's the guy that they just apparently finished up the Rebels show, and now there's going to be another one that's set in between, I believe, 7 and 8.
But those are all animated, right?
Yeah, those are the animated.
But I'm talking about live action.
They are canon. And yes, they could do live action. You're right.
Because you got your own streaming service, and, I mean, you own full rights to those. A little easier if you're doing it yourself, kind of like Hulu does. I think live action is... I mean, I love animation, but a live action story just has something else to it.
Well, I mean, right now, Disney is doing, like, for example, in the MCU, little universe thing.
Yeah.
Right now, they're streaming shows through things like Netflix, where you have, like, the Luke Cage, the Punisher, the Daredevil. You have all of those characters on that. Then they just did another one with the Cloak and Dagger. I don't know if you heard about that.
You know more about that than I do.
That series. Well, I hear people talk about it, but that's another one that they gave to Freeform, I believe it is.
Was that the production house?
No, that's the channel it's on. It's
a channel?
Yeah, it's the name of a channel. It's an online channel of some kind.
I am not familiar with that.
But it has this show.
Oh, ABC Family.
Oh, is that
formerly
what it is?
ABC Family.
Oh, okay.
I loved it. Remember Kyle XY? That was an ABC Family show. I really liked that show.
I do. It was
a little weird in the end, but overall I thought it was a good little sci-fi show. Cloak and Dagger, here it is.
If that's ABC Family, then that must be owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I mean, still, Netflix is its own thing, and they've been, like you said, they could do live action shows with Star Wars, with, they could do more MCU shows. I mean, there's a lot, like you said, a lot of possibilities of directions they could go if they acquire this Fox deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see there's a lot of possibilities for this. I'm sorry I got stuck on this Freeform channel. I'm trying to understand how it works. I don't know. I just...
buddy, I believe that's what they are trying to figure out themselves. ABC Family has kind of been this
This is like a testing ground for some model.
Weird blob of a channel out there.
Unlocked shows, featured shows. Like I click on these. Oh, okay. So
But buddy, the real big news here, by the way, is that if they get Fox,
yeah, if Disney gets Fox,
Fox is the ones that put out the Ace Ventura movies. I can only assume Fox is going to bring Ace Ventura into the MCU in some way, or Disney, will bring it into the MCU some way.
That would be amazing.
It would.
That would breathe some major life into the MCU.
It is time for this to happen.
Wow, Ant-Man and
Ace.
Ant-Man and Ace.
Yeah.
The Adventures of
Ant-Man and Ace.
That would be the show to watch there.
Are you not telling me that this would be an amazing...
Disney!
Disney, reach out. I know a guy that can write this for you.
We got some ideas for you.
We got ideas. Just send you know what? Get a hold of Sci-Fi. They know how to get a hold of us.
They've been talking to us nonstop.
Yeah,
about our great ideas.
We had all sorts of ideas for them. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening. Eric, we're gonna do a crossover with some people. We'll talk about that. Never, because it's not happening. But it's not on the calendar.
Well, we're in negotiations with Disney and Comcast also. We didn't want to bring it up, but because of this Fox thing, we figured we'd throw in what's happening here at the Pull Up a Chair Network, and that is they have been bidding for us as well.
Well, yeah, they've bid for us. They offered us $0.3.
$0.3. Yeah, that was Comcast's offer.
You know what we said? We said no, because we care about the integrity of the Pull Up a Chair Network.
And then Disney came in and said, "We'll give you $10," and we were like, "This is sold." And now, yeah,
it was $10 in coupons.
It was that like $10 cash you get for like what was it?
It was $10
points.
Yeah.
Those like Disney points.
Yeah, it was Mickey points.
I hate they're like when you buy their videos, you can get these Disney points to get other, but they expire.
Oh,
and the thing is, like, they only last like six months once you register them or something. I can't remember, and they expire pretty fast. And to buy a movie with those points, it was like incredibly expensive. You needed like 600 points for a movie purchase, but then to buy a movie was something like 20,000 points. It was insane.
Disney, you know what I'm hearing? Eric is describing the plot for Ant-Man and Ace.
Ant-Man and Ace.
This is what they're doing. They're trying to buy something with the Mickey points.
Who owns the Kraft Brothers?
That is a great question, sir.
Who owns that?
I didn't even think of the Kraft Brothers.
Because they could be like they're
the
amazing.
Bad guys?
No. Well, that'd be great. I'd love to see the Kraft Brothers be bad guys. If you guys don't know who the Kraft Brothers is, they are obviously brothers who they've had several shows over the past 2 decades at least. I'm trying to think. I saw them in the 90s, back when they were young, and they still have their Kraft Brothers show. I think it's still going, or at least it's still airing. And it's it's a nature show about animals, and the current version is animated. But
yeah, buddy, I can't figure out who owns these. I think they may just be independent.
They're probably independent. They've been around a while. They could afford to be independent. But yeah, let's see if they could wrap them in. Give them a couple $100 to join the MCU. Get a whole like nature segment with Ant-Man kind of leading it. Like not like the Justice League or like, that, but all animals. Animal like people. That'd be interesting.
Well, the Kraft Brothers Company and the 9 Story Media Group produced the show Wildcrats.
Wildcrats, yeah.
So
I don't know. Just on my mind.
Eric, if that all could become a possibility, it would be amazing. But you know what else is amazing, Eric?
What's amazing?
All
Nick?
the places they can find us.
Well, they can find us a lot of places. Let's see how amazing it is. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. You can also find us on iTunes. Search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast, and you got a little time and a little effort there. You could give us some stars if you chose to. We'd appreciate it. You can also find us on every podcasting app that is on Android that we could think of. And our personal home is Podbean. So if you go to Podbean, you can always give us they have hearts. You can like or heart our episodes if you have some time. We would appreciate it. We do have a website. It's PUC podcast.website, pucpodcast.website. That's our own website. You can go there and find some of our stuff, archive stuff. And that's about it. Is there any place? Oh, you can find us on Twitter. And our Twitter handle is at PullUpAChairPod. That is at PullUpAChairPod. At us. And you can tweet us there, or probably Facebook is the most reliable way to get a hold of us. But tweeting, we'll get back to you also. Probably take an extra 20 minutes, so.
All right. Well, you know what? If you too want to see the Ant-Man and Ace movie become a thing, write to your local senator. Tell them that you want Disney to be able to purchase Fox so that this can become a reality. And Eric, if this becomes a reality, Eric will get his final wish before dying.
What are you saying?
It's your Make-A-Wish Foundation thing.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We hope you have yourself a good time and a good day.
Bye.